knowledge and disparity. Thank you. Appreciate it. Knowledge is power. It opens doors for you. Whether it's knowledge of books or knowledge of understanding and living in this world.
Who would have thought I would have actually made it to the Olympics with everything that I faced and everything I've been through?
Growing up in a small township, always being the tallest everywhere I went, I get teased for my height, I get teased for my voice, and the only place where all those things worked for me was sport.
I got involved in an accident. I ended up getting paralyzed from waist going down. My life had totally changed and I was not looking good at all. Even going to the shops, when people look at you, you feel like maybe they're not seeing anything good on me. I just couldn't take that. My name is Sandra Khumalo. I'm a Paralympian rower. I row for South Africa under the para-rowing team. And I'm a mom to 2 beautiful daughters.
My name is Dumisani Chauke. I am the HOD of sport at the Tshwane University of Technology, Ga-Rankuwa campus. I'm a Laureus Sports for Good ambassador, Brand South Africa Play Your Part ambassador, and seasoned administrator, former SPAR Proteas assistant coach, and former SA netball player.
My name is Andile Dlamini. I am a goalkeeper of Mamelodi Sundowns and Banyana, also a football analyst and a professional coach. I am just known as Sticks Andile Dlamini, goalkeeper of South Africa national team, which is Banyana and Mamelodi Sundowns.
I'm Alyssa Conley, 7-time national champion, Rio Olympian, sports broadcaster, commentator, and just an all-around phenomenal woman. The first thing that I felt when I hit the track at the Rio 2016 Olympic Games was, why are you here? You're a little girl from Riverlea, you know, you just race in South Africa. What are you doing racing against the best in the world? It was such a massive stage that I completely just drowned in that moment. And I just couldn't believe that I was there.
My big break moment was winning WAFCON in 2022. 2022, when we won WAFCON, it changed and opened doors for me.
For the very first time and having to win a silver medal, that was, the most amazing thing. But it didn't really sink that, like, this is what I'm gonna be, and I'm gonna be rowing with the best in the world.
I did not choose sport. I think it chose me. Growing up in a small township of Malamulele in Limpopo, so the town didn't have much, still doesn't have much, so the only thing to do was literally hang around in the streets, keep yourself busy with something else, or play sport. I just had all this energy and I wanted to keep myself busy, and sport became my safe haven.
I think I was 6 or 7. I envisioned myself as one of the superstars playing abroad at the age of 8, 7. Yeah, because I was playing with the boys. I did think that I would make it, but I didn't know how I would make it.
I always liked doing these adventures in life. So I was working in the Kruger National Park and I was learning to be a game ranger. I got involved in a car accident. I ended up getting paralyzed from waist going down. Yeah, I had so much obsession in walking again. And I thought, I'm not gonna look good again. Am I gonna be that Sandra again that I was? Now I'm just sitting here. By then, I saw it as the worst thing that can happen to a human being. Even going to the shops, when people look at you, you feel like maybe they're not seeing anything good on me. And you keep trying, pushing yourself backwards, like what I was, because I felt that was the best. And what I was then, it was just not good.
I knew I wanted to be the fastest woman in South Africa. I knew what my purpose was at that young age, but a lot of battles and challenges that I faced within my career.
I remember actually there was a time in 2009 we went out to Tanzania, and I actually took unpaid leave for 2 weeks, unpaid leave from work, because I made the SAA team to go play in Tanzania, and we won, by the way. But yeah, I had to take 2 weeks unpaid leave.
It's quite a big challenge, because like some athletes, all they do is training. They don't have to think of work, but you know, you have to work because you need the money.
I used to do jobs outside football that actually gave me income to feed my family. I used to drive to Linksfield, after Linksfield, Randburg, Tembisa, just to get that amount of money so I can feed my family. I am my mom's firstborn, and I have siblings, younger siblings, that I take to school. I have my own life that I need to cater for, and my salary compared to the man's salary is at, I would say, maybe 20% or 30% of what the men are getting. Just generalizing, especially in the world.
It's like two ways, female athletes and also being a disabled athlete. Most of the time, like as a person with disability, you seem not to be paid like the able bodies, but they don't know you put so much work. You put so much work like any other athlete, like as a female athlete. And like with me, I'm a mom, I'm leaving my kids at home, and something must show that why I'm leaving those kids at home and going to do what I'm doing. Something must show. There must be results coming out of that, and obvious also finances. But yeah, results were coming, but finances not there. As an athlete, generally, you need to always like take care of yourself, like medical, you know that. So you should be sorted, like transportation, you should be sorted. It's those things that you should never like think of or stress about. All you just need to stress about is your performance, but not finances, that you should have enough. So now you have a challenge now that you have to work and work out. And you're an elite athlete.
It's a conversation that women in sport have been having for quite some time, right? I'm not too sure if we're still using the same excuses, or it's just the power dynamics or the dynamics of sport altogether in terms of gender.
Knowing that I wanted to be the fastest and being the fastest from a very young age, I kind of felt like it was owed to me to go to the Olympic Games, but then life hit, reality hit, and I had to go for a hip arthroscopy just before the 2012 Olympics, and I was like, damn, that's not gonna happen, you know? And then to go through that phase of downtime and figuring out, what are you doing, Alyssa? You know, you're not fast anymore, so what are you doing? And yeah.
One of the biggest challenges in any athlete's career is injuries. Injuries have a way of either showing you the end of the road or showing you that there's another road.
I almost gave up in 2021 when I contracted COVID. Then I had heart infusion and I couldn't walk, I couldn't play football. I think that was God aligning me with the universe and making me understand why am I doing this, because I wanted to give up. You know, there was a time I was like, ladies football, where is it going to take me? I couldn't play football anymore, around about 6 months. So for 4 months, I had to recover. For 2 months, I had to just train on my own without me training with the team, just slowly coming back.
If you don't have the financial backing to be able to meet your monthly necessities, should emergencies like that come up or situations like that come up, you'd be stuck. Emotionally, psychologically, you can't even perform on a sports field because you've got bigger problems to worry about.
The time frame to become an Olympian is so limited. So I knew that if I don't make enough money, hopefully invest that money if you're smart enough, if you have, advisors, mentors, people to help you and assist you. If not, then once your career is done, you start from the bottom.
Every time you attend a trial and you make the top 15 and you don't make the traveling 12, and year in, year out, you ask yourself, why do I keep coming back to this thing? I've had a couple of those, and they were emotionally draining, and I guess it took something in me that said, nah, actually, let's go back one more time.
I had my lows. I think also when I concede, back in the days when I still had low self-esteem, you concede a goal and you feel like it's your fault all the time, and you're like, I want to leave this. I don't want to do this anymore. Being a goalkeeper is a lot of pressure. Because every time a goal is scored,
What about you?
And they forget all the other defenders before you.
They forget about everything else.
It's not a team sport.
You can make 50 saves and just concede one silly little goal, and it's over for you. But it's when the moment that I sat in my room and I started saying, who are you? Are you not human? Don't you make mistakes? You are who you say you are, not what other people say you are. So you gotta wake up tomorrow and actually try and be a better goalkeeper each and every time, because you can never be a perfect goalkeeper.
So that's why we always want to go back, because regardless of how many titles you've won, how many records, how many times you've represented your country, only as good as your last performance. And if that last performance is not satisfactory to yourself, then
you have to go back.
Every day I go to bed and I'm like, should I try again?
I think it's the tenacity piece. And I think that us as women, we have something special about ourselves. That we can power up easily, and that's the woman part. And so for me, I see it in you woman as you sit here. And yes, the narrative is still the boogeyman, but it's the overcoming of the boogeyman, isn't it?
When I made the SAA team 2009, I just started working at the Eastern Cape Academy of Sport. I was athlete services coordinator, and I'd always dreamt of wearing the green and gold, but on a senior level. I'd worn it under 16, under 17, which was great, the first time wearing the green and gold, going out of the country, you guys know what that feels like, right? That moment, and you just keep wanting to do it more and more. 2009, made the SAA team, went out to Tanzania, played African Cup. My first year working in a formal job, right? And they were not paying. So here's everyone on TV, the newspapers, the radio stations, everyone is calling you, they're celebrating you. This small, skinny girl from a small township of Malamulele in Limpopo, finally wearing green and gold on on a senior level, right? Yet, I had to take unpaid leave because I hadn't accumulated enough days. So, at the highest, where for me it was exciting, I'm going out wearing the green and gold, but back home my bank account is telling another story. I think that was the high that came with a pretty low.
There was a time where I actually gave up. I contracted COVID and I had heart infusion, and it was a very difficult time of my life. I thought I was losing it. I fell out of love for football, and right after falling out of love, I got sick. And actually, this platform, I love this platform because now it tells me that I need to tell my story. I don't have heart infusion anymore, so no one needs to bring up the heart problem anymore. I'm healed.
So what happened in COVID? We couldn't play sport,
Yeah.
which means a lot of professional athletes couldn't earn.
Yeah, I'm one of them.
One of them.
Yeah, all of us.
I had a huge setback where I had ops twice. I had the first op, I healed, went back training, the pressure sore came back again. I had to go back. That I could have just said to Sandra, you know what, you're done. This it. I mean, this is the second op again. Do you want to go back for training again? You know, it's all those things that, but the mind that comes like, remember why we're doing this. You want to have 3 Paralympics in your plate. You want to have 2 Paralympics in your plate.
It's just like goals.
You can do this.
Yeah.
You can do this.
So coming from an individual sport, you're your own person. You're your own manager, sometimes coach, physiotherapist. So the first time I had my international European season, I had to fund it myself. So get a message from a coach from Namibia, actually, not even a South African coach. I'm taking the Namibian team to Europe. Would you like to join? Sure. What do I need? 60,000 rand. Okay, Mom and Dad, you have 60,000 rand for me, please. Never mind that I'm the fastest woman in South Africa. Doesn't matter, you know. Also got multiple African medals and stuff. Doesn't matter. And parents coughed out the money. I stayed in a caravan for 3 months. A little caravan. That was my first experience going to Europe. I never made any money there. You would go to races and you'd win a little clip, or if you're running in Germany, maybe a beer or something, you know, you can refuel and recover. But that was it for me. Individual sports, I spent more money to race than I made, you know. So I had to pay for everything, had to make do, had to work full-time jobs throughout my career. So it was always, I want to be an international athlete, I want to be the best, but it got secondary preference because I have to pay the bills and I have to make money. So I don't know if it's the same with team sport, but I suffered, man.
And I think, Alyssa, it's the piece that we don't see at that point that's missing. It's the conversation of how does money look like in my love of wanting to be a professional athlete.
Yeah.
And there's no conversation at any point in time that early on in a career, which makes it even worse for you to keep paying yourself to get there. And there's a misnomer on what is money, right? So money for me is a mindset. So money is a mindset thing. It's understanding and becoming literate about it. So our behaviors, our patterns, our upbringing, our systemic and systematic oppression in this country, our cultural barriers, our lack of tools, all of that plays a role. So when you impact one person with financial literacy, you start to influence 5 people around them. And so we may not be able to change adults at 50 and 60 years old, but we can start to influence from a young age. And just around this table, already through your own financial advice, planning, money management, speaking about it, starts to change the trajectory. And we need more successful athletes to talk about their journeys financially. To talk about how Mom and Dad had to fund the 60,000, but we saved. They taught me to save. To talk about how there wasn't money, I didn't make the team, I didn't make the squad. I was this good, I never got paid, I had to have a full-time day job. And then connect the dots. So there's still a disconnect with topic and with athleticism. So regardless of you powerhouses sitting around this table, our greatest asset in life today, as we sit here, is our ability to earn an income. Whether that be through financial advice, athleticism, sportswomen, that is your greatest asset in life today. And we protect that last.
Sure.
And so if I asked any of you, how are you protecting your greatest asset without putting you on the spot? Just that whole statement and that question mark leaves one pondering, right? And then you go, how have I professionally mastered? Just think about that. Personal mastery is the easy part. It's now to translate that message to the professional mastery.
Yeah.
And because I'm a professional athlete, the same things apply to me as a businesswoman, to these folk out here. What are the basics and the fundamentals that need to be in place? Right? And so if you protected your greatest asset, it is your ability to continue to be financially protected when injury comes. So I'm not an athlete, but I did have 2 bad injuries. However, income protection is one of those things that is so overlooked. And we wait for the organizations, the associations, the bodies, the sporting fraternity to protect us.
Yeah.
So we don't take charge. We take charge of the mindset, to lean into what you're saying. We take charge of the tenacity, of the discipline, of the determination. And again, there's a mismatch. And so I'm going, if I were your mirror, where's the match in terms of that tenacity and that discipline to protect this greatest asset? Because you're at higher risk for injury, aren't you?
Yes, we are.
And so just that continuation of being financially okay.
Okay.
Because life happens, and then life happens because you're a sportswoman as well. So that your risk factor is elevated.
What I can say, what happened to me after that, I realized I need to insure myself more. Insure my finances.
Now you're speaking my language.
Insure my finances. Taking like hospital plans. Because it's that time that I was off training, I was off work, it's not paid.
Yes.
And I've lost that whole time.
Yes.
So if I had a good financial plan in place, I would have gained something out of that time.
If I had a good financial advisor.
Advisor, exactly.
Because that's the thing about advice. It's your personal story. So each of you have this beautiful, powerful story. And so when we advise, we want advice to that story. It's the determining lens that builds this foundation of who you are.
Yes.
And then protecting the greatest asset.
Yeah.
So important, the financial advisor, right? Because us as athletes, that's where our focus is.
Yes.
That's where we're zoned in.
Yeah.
I'm a specialist on track, specialist on the football field, netball court, and at rowing. You know what I mean? So for us, we can only go by the advice that we are given.
She owns her success.